What's up, everybody? This is another episode of Better Than Static, and after some technical difficulties, we have finally started recording. I am your host, as always, Tyler, and tonight I have streaming with me my friend Lucas
Hello.
and my other friend Chris.
Shalom Shabbat.
I
What you call
know,
me?
I know that is a common Jewish greeting, but I don't exactly know what it means.
Hello and blessings to you, I think.
Cool. I know a similar phrase in Arabic from where I went overseas a little bit, but didn't know that one. But anyways, sorry I didn't have fancy intros for you guys. I was trying to get us to be able to record through Skype, and it didn't work. So I was more worried about that than our intros. But hopefully by next week I'll have it figured out, and we'll be able to do that. And you all can see our faces, even though we have faces for radio and not for TV. But yeah, let's get started. Let's roll on some topics. Let me pull my topics up. I had them. Where are they at? Where are they at? Where are they at? Where are they at? There they are. Okay. So first topic is, hey, we got t-shirts. You can get those t-shirts on Custom Ink. They're on the fundraising side of Custom Ink, which we graciously want to thank Custom Ink for having that feature to where we don't have to put money forward for this. But there will be a link in the description if you want a t-shirt. You have to order by March 26th, and then they should arrive around April 11th. So definitely go check those out. And that's more of an announcement than a topic, but they're really nice t-shirts. They're comfort colors, and honestly my favorite style of t-shirt. So yeah, you should go check those out. Link will be in the description. Another big announcement is March 24th, the Saturday before Ready Player One comes out, the podcast network, including me, and Lucas said he was interested, will be doing a streamathon for Ready Player One. We'll be like playing some of the games that are included in that movie and book. Which, Lucas, you've read the book. What are some of the games that are included in that?
Mainly old 80s arcade stands like Joust is a big one, um, and some others from the 80s that I can't think of right now.
I think Galaga's
I
in
know
there,
Joust
and
is a really big one. Galaga's
Pac-Man's
not
in
in
it.
it.
Oh, it's not, or what?
Pac-
Pac-Man is Space
Not in the
Invader.
book.
Space Invader is in it, I think, because there's a list that the
Not,
podcast network sent out of lists of games we could choose from. I
that's
still got to
fine.
choose my game that I could play for 2 hours. Which
Adventure and Black Tiger. I read the book, I promise.
you're the only one here that has read the book. But
I actually read it twice.
we'll be streaming. I definitely will be streaming at some point. I think I'm shooting for 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday, March 24th, and it'll be fun. I hope I'm allowed to do Joust because I used to be awesome at Joust. There's this bar in Lexington called Arcadium, and they had arcade games in there, and Joust was there, and I was not number one. I don't want you to lead you to believe that I'm that good, but I was like top five on that machine, and it was awesome. That was one of the peak of my post graduation life in Lexington, because I stayed in Lexington for like a month after I graduated to study for a test, like for my accreditation tests or whatever. Uh, but yeah, Joust is my jam. But here's the thing about that is it's going to be hard to. I think it would be hard to stream arcade games like that unless you did like kind of like a how Funhouse does Wheelhouse, or like Let's Play Roulette from Achievement Hunter. If you did stuff like that, it would be okay, I would think. Which
Yeah, I
can,
think you
can
could.
you can
That
you
way
do?
it's kind of random.
Can you do off the top of your head? I know we just covered that you don't know a lot of the games in the book because I'm still questioning that you read the book. But are there any two-player
There's not a
games?
lot of games in the book. Joust is a two-player game. Adventure is in the game. It is single player. There's a uh, an old text-based game that I don't remember the name of. The games are very, very small part of it. It's more music and movies and stuff like that.
Well, we'll definitely have
Uh,
like some '80s music playing, like a lot of Rush. We'll have a lot of Rush playing in the stream.
yeah.
What's cool about Twitch is you can have music on it, and so like the stream will not be on YouTube. I won't edit the stream or anything. It'll just be on Twitch. So there's that. But yeah, you guys should check that out. March 24th. It'll be all day starting at 6 a.m. and I think we're gonna go till 1 a.m. The next day. So, and that'll be like we'll be doing a segment. Gamer Heads will be doing a segment. Play Comics will be doing a segment. Like everybody at the podcast network will be doing a segment. And they're really funny people. I've hung out with them on Skype a bunch. So yeah, I think this is. I'm excited for this streamathon. I don't know if Ready Player One will be good or not, but I can guarantee the streamathon will be. So there's that. But that's I think that's the last announcements I'll do for right now. Um, but so the big news that I was kind of pumped for and I was excited to get home and play it was Fortnite Battle Royale came with the new game mode, and I'm actually pretty sure Chris is playing it right now while we're doing the podcast.
Nope.
You're not playing it. You're playing Fortnite though,
No,
right?
nope.
Oh well, cool. But what do you think of the new game mode, Chris?
It's not as stressful,
So it's more of
so
a
I
just
can
pick up and
enjoy
go.
it more. Yeah.
I so I don't know if either of you were playing one in the so the new game mode is 5 teams of 20 and it's called 20 versus 20 versus 20 versus 20 versus 20 versus 20.
It's
I
just
think
called
that's
teams and squads, as they called.
I know they advertised it as what I just said. I'm not going to repeat it because that was way too many 20s. It was 5 to be exact. And I don't know if you guys played when it was 50 versus 50 on Fortnite Battle Royale, but I was super amped for that because it was a new play style and that actually got really stressful because you're it would the two teams would battle it out in the center of the map pretty much. Whereas 20 versus 20, like Chris said, it's less stressful because everybody's spread out and like people slowly get killed off instead of like one last final stand like in 50 versus 50 was. But I really like that Epic is changing up Battle Royale. Well, not like they're not changing it up. They're just offering you other things to do instead of just do the plain Battle Royale game. And I think that asserts its longevity of how long this could go on and be longevity. Yeah, not longevity. Longevity of what Battle Royale can be. And for a free game, they're putting a lot of work into it. Don't you guys think?
They are putting a lot of
Yeah,
work into it.
I'm sure they're
Oh,
making. I mean, it has a massive player base, and I'm sure they're making a lot of money off of skins and the battle passes and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not just putting it in for a free game for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's one thing I really enjoy about their microtransactions because cosmetics. I'm a huge cosmetics fan for microtransactions, but they're actually offering you almost more gameplay. Say you buy the battle pass for $10, you get like numerous more challenges, which kind of gives you more things to do in the game, and it's almost expanding the game as a whole, which I really like. Um, each week you get a new set of challenges, and you can like you don't have to, but like if you finish 4 in that week, you get like like an extra bonus of stars to go up in your battle pass. And I think that's really cool because that one sets a time limit, so everybody's going to be like playing it, which they already are playing. Like a lot of people are playing it, but like it puts pressure for people to play it to where I think people are on it all the time. And I don't know, it just what do you guys think? Where I made the statement of it almost adds more gameplay to it.
I mean, I suppose it
Uh,
does, but I just like not having to be stressed while playing Fortnite because I like it, but I hate the stress that is involved in it.
So do you think that the challenges kind of take the stress away, or are you still talking about 20 versus 20 or 20,
I was
20
still talking about,
squads? So you're still talking about 20 squads.
yeah, sorry. The
No, you're
challenges
good.
do make it interesting because I can not have to just focus about not dying each time instead of I can focus on something other than not dying.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, I can go.
I know until they added the challenges, I was kind of set in where I would land, and the challenges actually make me explore the map a little bit more, which is neat. Because it definitely changes my game style because I'm like, oh, I need to get this to where I can unlock this skin or unlock this level of my battle pass, which I think is cool. I think that's very intuitive of them to do. And I
yeah.
know,
On the flip side of that, like for me, I know I've never really been interested in like in-game challenges and stuff that doesn't really have an effect on the outcome of the match kind of thing. So I've never really focused on them or anything like that. Even Call of Duty, I did a little bit, but I pretty much just used what I like kind of thing and be done with it.
even on World War II, because I know like World War II had their challenges were different because you got to unlock or like you had to level up guns or something. You guys can speak more about that,
Yeah,
right? Can you explain that?
yeah,
You headshots. You would have to unlock. You had to get 100 headshots on the assault rifles to get to unlock the next tier challenges, which was um like you had to
yeah. I
go
think
on
they
a
were
five
just
kill streak 5 times. I
yeah,
think like use it with a weird attachment or something.
yeah. But with that being said, I only ever did that for one gun.
So, one like not even one type of gun, like not even just assault rifles. You'd only use it for one gun.
Yeah, I used it for the STG-44. That's
Gotcha.
the only gun I used. I tried using the some other guns, and okay, to give you a little insight in this, my KD with the STG-44 whenever I was playing a lot was like a 2.5 or 2 point something. Uh, every other gun was like a point 0.4.
Wow. Which I mean,
So it's like I
go
found one
ahead.
that I like, I do really good with.
Hmm.
Everything else I just suck with. So I'm obviously going to use that one.
And I think that also speaks to Call of Duty's playstyle too, where it's a first person shooter where you're really only like it's not really objective based. Like you do have some game modes that are objective based, but really, I mean, most game modes people play are team deathmatch, and when you're playing team deathmatch, you want to get the most kills, so you get the most kills with the gun you're most comfortable with. So really, the
Yeah.
challenges aren't really
Well,
pushing you.
even the objective based game modes is you're pushing like you may be like if you're playing headquarters or whatever it is, you're pushing a point and you have to kill to get that point.
Yeah,
So like even the objective is you got to kill kind of thing. So
I think I think one thing that Fortnite does and why their challenges work so well is like you can't just specify on one gun. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I mean, on the challenge that me and Chris we were playing and I just got was I had to get a kill with a crossbow. I hate the crossbow. I never use it, but that challenge to get a skin that I really want, it pushed me to go do that. Now, I mean, Lucas, you say you don't do the challenges, but you also didn't buy the battle pass, right?
oh no,
I don't think there's a lot of skins you can get or like many cosmetics you can get without the battle pass. So for the
yeah,
people,
and
for the for the people that,
cosmetics.
or go ahead, yeah,
For me, like I'm saying, this is just me, like my
yeah, yeah,
personal thing. I could care less about cosmetics. As long as the game is fun, that's all I really care about.
Yeah, yeah. And for the people that are like you that have the similar thought of you, I don't think that those challenges take away from your gameplay. I was just
Oh
putting
no,
out there
no,
that
it
it could
doesn't.
add for the people that wanted to try those things and make make a simple game mode more difficult for themselves or more fun for themselves.
Yeah. No,
But
I
An
wasn't
added
arguing
challenge.
yeah, add a
Yeah, I
challenge.
wasn't arguing that it
No, no, I was just
didn't
I was
add
I was
more.
clarifying. I was clarifying the argument.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't really an argument. It was just like stating what we each enjoy in a game.
Yeah.
You know what's really weird for me right now, Lucas, is I'm thinking. So when this comes out, we'll have already gone to Lexington Comic uh, and Toy Convention. But right now, I'm super excited for it, which is because it's like I'm living in the past where this will be out in the future. Because our recording,
Easy there, weird time travel man.
yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
a quantum leap right now. Um, but so like I said, me and Lucas will have went to Lexington, and Greg will come with us. And we'll get some cool interviews, and that like I'll make a YouTube video and put all the interviews we get on YouTube, and that'll be fun. And just like the other two we went to, but I think what's super cool is where we're taking Greg. Greg is an avid listener, and he's been on the show before. I think something that I think he's really excited about experiencing is like he's never been to a Comic-Con. He's also never interviewed somebody like we're going to do, and I think he's pretty excited to see that happen because he's watched our videos, and I think he wants to experience them for himself, and I'm super happy that he's going to get to do that with us, which Chris is technically giving him this opportunity. Chris is being very gracious and showing up for work on Saturday instead of going to Comic-Con.
Well, I can't just not show up to work.
You know, I know. Chris. I'm trying to play you off as a hero, man.
But I'm not a hero.
Chris, you're a hero. This is how I play you up to the ladies, like we were talking about in the last episode, and you're just killing it, man. I was trying to make you seem like you are very, what's
I've
the
got to be
word?
honest with the ladies.
That's true. I'm just trying to be a wingman. You know, I'm just trying to make you sound great. Trying to give you a good resume.
I don't have any references.
You don't have any reference. We'll make up some. We'll give him Lucas's number, and Lucas can do like a girl voice, kind of like how and I know you guys haven't watched Seinfeld, but like when George Costanza is on like in the unemployment, he has to prove that he's been looking for a job, so he like gives them the number of Jerry, and tells Jerry, if somebody from the unemployment office answers, you have to answer this is Vandalay Industries, and then they have to go in this
Vandalay Industries. That sounds fancy.
Yeah, they're in latex. That's the whole business. They're in latex.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking when they said that. I wonder if they knew the innuendo that the latex industry was going to bring.
It's a comedy show. They probably
So
did.
probably did, yeah. But yeah, that's what that reminded. That's where I got like fake references. That's where I went with that. Speaking of TV shows, and this TV show has nothing to do with Seinfeld, but it is a TV show. Is Lucas found out that Jon Favreau? Well, he didn't find out. Like I think he just came across it reading an article, but he texted us about it today. Is Jon Favreau will direct a live action Star Wars movie? And where did you wait? What
Live
Go ahead.
action TV show.
TV show? No,
He
I
will
said Star Wars
write
movie.
and direct.
Yeah, I meant to
Yeah.
say TV shows because I said, well, I even set it up as, yeah, we were talking about TV shows of Seinfeld. Let's talk about this new TV show. Yeah, it's a movie. No, it's a TV show. Star Wars live action TV show. So he's writing it and directing it. Is there anything this man can't do because he acts as well?
I
He's no
mean-
Childish Gambino.
I mean, yeah,
That's
you're not
true.
wrong. I don't think Jon Favreau can rap or sing it or dance as good as Donald Glover. But I like it. I like his writing. I I like his acting, but I don't think he'll actually be in the live action Star Wars TV show. I mean, he might. I don't know. He might just make little cameos or something. Have they said anything about like the story arc they're gonna cover, or
No, not yet. This was, well, according to the article that I read, I think it was just announced, not long ago. Uh,
which when you get the chance, email me or not email me, text me the link. Who uses email? We don't. We use text. Text me the link to this article so I can put it in the description.
okay, I'll see if I can find it again.
But yeah, go
But
ahead. Go ahead.
they, it's basically just come out that he is writing and directing it, and it's going to be based in the Star Wars universe. It's not, uh, from what the article said, it's not going to be based around of anything we've seen yet. So it should be a whole new kind of standalone in the Star
Nothing to
Wars
do with the rest of it,
universe.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
it'll be all of this. Well, here's the thing, like the chronology, is that a word? The canon. It's just canon. I made that word way harder than it needed to be. But like the canon of Star Wars is so broad. Like they have so much stuff they could do, and I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it again: is I would love to have something that's not Star Wars or not Star Wars, not Skywalker, um, grounded in. Like do something outside of the Skywalker lineage, and if he does that, I'll be super happy. Here's the thing: even if he doesn't, I'm gonna be super happy of having a Star Wars TV show, like a live action one.
yeah. As long as it's good.
Yeah, which you said it's only going to be on Disney's streaming service in the text. Did you say that a second ago?
Yeah. Probably not, but yeah,
But yeah,
it is for Disney streaming service.
so I guess it's going to come out in 4 years because that's when their streaming service was planning on coming out, right? Or are they going to start it on Netflix and
Uh,
then move it to just solely Disney? I wonder.
I mean, I'm sure it'll take 4 years to get it, uh, to come up with a script, to cast, to film an entire season of a Star Wars TV show and edited and all that stuff. So I'd say they're probably shooting for whenever the streaming service comes up. So it's a ways off, but
Yeah, but like that's a cool carrot to have dangling out in front of us. And like here's the thing: I think that'll be one of Disney's big things of getting people to subscribe to their streaming service and leave maybe some other ones because their fan base is so big for Star Wars. Um,
yeah.
there are
I mean,
very
if you
few
think
people,
about it,
and they're all wrong that said they don't like Star Wars.
yeah. I mean, if you think about it, the biggest properties you can think of, like like today, they're all owned by Disney.
And like they're constantly acquiring more too. Like
Right. So,
recently they got
like
Fox,
they're,
and what else did they get here recently? They got something else here recently. Um,
oh, I don't know.
maybe it's just Fox. Maybe I'm
Man,
thinking more into that. But anyways, they have what all do they have? They have Pixar. They have Pixar. They have
Pixar.
Marvel. Pixar. They have Pixar, Marvel. They have Fox. Fox Cinema, right? That's the actual part they own now because Fox still has their TV stuff, right?
That sounds correct.
Yeah, they bought a division uh, of Fox, but I don't remember what it is. I'll look it up real fast.
I
It's
know that they're still gonna have Fox will still have ownership of their TV stuff. I just don't know the exact part that Disney bought of Fox. Which I'm really happy that Disney's not going to change much of Fox's movie stuff. Like Deadpool's still going to be Deadpool. I like that. Not because I'm a huge Deadpool fan, but why ruin a good thing? Like a lot of people like it. Why would you ruin it? You know?
for
Yeah.
money.
Well, I mean, it made a
They
bunch of money.
are-
Like Deadpool, the first
I know,
Deadpool
I'm
made
just-
a
I'm just
butt
being
ton of
stupid.
money. Yeah.
They bought 21st Century Fox
They
movie
bought- okay.
studio
That's what. So they
and regional sport networks
Hmm. So the mouse
and
will be
cable
like,
channels
all-
FX and National Geographic.
Oh wow! I didn't realize they got FX or National Geographic.
They will also get Fox's stakes in Hulu and European pay TV provider Sky.
Oh wow!
Oh, they got a lot of stuff.
Dang, they didn't even when they first announced
So they
they
own
got.
ESPN and now all of Fox Sports.
Dang. Well, in like they own all Fox's rights on Hulu, so I guess if Disney has their foot in the door for Hulu, the Star Wars live action thing could be on Hulu. I don't know.
Possibly.
They when they announced they bought 21st Century's Fox, they didn't actually really announce that they got everything else. It was kind of like they're slowly taking over the world. We talked about the Mouse
I
Illuminati
don't think they got
last
like
episode.
the news, like the news station, like Fox News or anything
But
like
here's
that.
here's the thing: ESPN's huge for Disney to get, because that was one of
Oh,
Fox's big things.
ESPN, Disney's owned ESPN for a while.
But I thought you just said that they just got it from Fox.
No, I was saying now they have ESPN and all
Oh.
the Fox Sports channels.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because that makes sense. Because Wide World of Sports is in Florida, in
Yep.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Fun fact: that's where I used to watch the Braves spring train when so my sister would have her high school softball tournaments there on spring break, and the Braves would have all their guys from the farm leagues playing, and it was awesome.
You say Brave spring training's awesome. I'll take your word for it.
Man,
Yeah.
I was in awe because I'm a Braves fan. Like if you got to watch the Cubs spring train, I'm sure you'd be in.
Shut up, though.
I mean, I'm just.
I'm just
Shut
making a
up.
joke because the Braves are bad.
They weren't. They didn't used to be.
They're real bad.
They are real bad now. Hey, the Cubs used to be real bad.
Not as bad as the
So?
Braves.
I don't think that's true. Don't you dare say that because I don't think that's true.
No, it's definitely not.
But
I have.
wait, what? Go ahead, Chris.
I was just sad. I thought I had something, but then my brain decided to quit.
You had something from a long time ago that I have in my notes. It was and I don't think it's an actual topic, but it's something that I think's funny that you said. You said like the Australian accent is the redneck version of the English accent. You said that in the comic book store one time. I was like, I'll write that down and maybe we could make something of it on the show.
I'm full of just weird quotes.
I wish you
Like, I
would
went
tweet
back-
more of your stuff that you just come up with.
Well, I don't think to tweet it. Like, it's just.
It's pure magic and you can't capture that magic as you did in the moment.
I mean, I remember I was reminiscing. I was looking through some old pictures from when I worked for the summer crew for the school system in the county, and like there was a picture where somebody had put a bottom of a broom on my head, and the quote was, "You look like a Roman soldier." And apparently, I just said, "Now I can go arrest Jesus" for some reason.
I remember that picture.
I
I just found
vaguely
it the other
remember
night,
it, but
and
I never
just-
remembered the
and I just sort of
caption.
started laughing.
When we have Jordan back on the show, because that's going to happen sometime in April, because that's when he's going to put out a new album, and he would love to be on the show. And like I said, we'd love to have him. We will.
We'd
we
love
will
to have him.
Yeah, he's hilarious, and he's also got all these stories that here's the thing about Jordan. He has so many dang stories that he's lived. He could make you think he's the most interesting man in the world. He should be in a Dos Equis commercial.
He makes them all up.
Okay, I think he embellishes a little bit of the stories, but He's a great storyteller. He's hilarious, a storyteller.
Yeah.
It could be like it could be one of the dumbest stories ever, but he could make you laugh harder than you ever laughed before. If he had told the story of the Roman soldier, I'm sure we would like. Not that Chris didn't do it justice. I'm just saying Jordan.
I mean,
would have
I
had
don't
us-
remember what I just saw the picture. I didn't
Yeah.
remember it even happening until I saw the picture.
Jordan would have remembered every detail and told us all, and we'd all been buckled over laughing. That's what type of guy Jordan Allen is. He's hilarious. Guys, I kind of want to move to a more serious topic, and I've
Oh,
told
Lord.
Lucas about this topic, but I didn't tell Chris about this topic beforehand.
God.
And because we are a semi-video gaming podcast, and semi-comedy and stuff, I kind of did want to get our speculation on how we feel about people's statements that video games have been influencing violence and stuff in schools and whatnot. Which I know all of our statements are no, they do not. But I think where we are, like, we're all from Kentucky. I think, we all don't believe in like no guns because we all grew up around guns and stuff. Just being in the geographical region that we are in, I think we're not rare, but like a group that doesn't really exist is people that love video games but also are comfortable with guns, because usually most people that play video games they don't really play with, like, they don't really handle guns a lot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And where do you guys stand on gun regulation, or where the violence is coming from that our country is experiencing right now?
Oh man.
I know that's a huge question, and we're gonna unpack it. And but
Yeah.
I know you guys are. I mean, Chris, you're government major. You know a lot about, I'm sure, about past gun laws and stuff. And then Lucas, you're concealing carry, so about things like that as well. And I think, I'm not saying we're experts on the subject, but I'm saying we can give people a good view of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, from our standpoint, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've kind of thought about this since you did text it to me a little earlier today, so I guess I can start. First off, the statement that video games causes violence is a scapegoat for anyone to use to not really tackle the true problem. And that's just what it is, kind of thing. There's been a whole lot of reports, a whole lot of studies, and they've all shown the opposite. They do show that kids with antisocial behaviors and violent tendencies do gravitate more towards violent video games. So, yeah, I mean, the kids that go and shoot up places and stuff, if they play video games, you may see that. And it's something that they've pointed to, and really after every single massive shooting, there's always somebody standing over in the corner yelling, kind of thing. But anyway, I was getting off on a tangent.
Well, I mean, like you
whole
said,
gun-
there is a correlation between it, but I don't think it's because.
Correlation, not causation.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
thing.
And we've
Like, you
talked
know what
about
I
that
mean?
before in one of our podcasts. Is just because a quiet person that likes to that is standoffish plays video games doesn't mean that those video games caused that person that already had tendencies of violence to go pursue the violence.
Exactly. And you know, and what I'm saying, gun laws which I know this may surprise some people that listen to this podcast. I honestly believe they could be stricter, and I honestly believe something uh, needs to be done. Uh, because as of right now, it is very, very, very easy just to go get a gun, but uh, there may also need to be, I don't know. I think education is a big thing behind guns, and I know, like we all, I'm not gonna say we all. I'm not sure about Chris, but I know me and Kirby both were raised in households that had guns, and we shot guns and handled guns from a fairly young age.
I'm pretty sure I
But
shot my first gun at 5 years old and acquired my first single barrel 20 gauge shotgun when I was 10. Um,
yeah, I'm not too far off of that. I think I was 7 and 10. I know I was 10 whenever I had my first 22 rifle. Uh, so, but with that being said, we were always taught proper handling and care and use, and uh,
and
so like
and it's not like we had to go behind our parents' back to say, hey, like if I went up to my dad and said, hey, is it cool if we go in the field behind the house and let me practice my shooting or stuff like that? And that was never like a touchy subject. My
right,
dad would have loved for me
just
to like go, hey, you want to go shooting with me?
right,
Because that's a bonding experience for me and my dad. And I think a lot of people see guns as dangerous, and they are. They are very dangerous things if they're not used right. Um, and I think if we're scared of them, then they do become those dangerous weapons. And also if they get in the hands of the wrong people, they're dangerous weapons as well. But
yeah.
uh, I don't know if you were done with what your stance is on the subject, but I was gonna.
Uh, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have. Just to wrap it up real fast, I'll say that I am not an expert in this field whatsoever.
Well,
I
none of us
have
are experts.
no
We just
idea
have the
what
different
needs
view.
to be done. Yeah, I have no idea what needs to be done. I'm sure I'm dead wrong. I just feel like there needs to be a change. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is in gun control. Like, that's just what everybody's saying right now.
Yeah,
If there needs to be like a uh, transition for like education to or mental health would be a really big thing because I know
Yeah.
yeah,
the most recent one in Florida had asked for help and didn't receive any.
yeah, yeah,
So like, there's a whole lot of other things that seems like they always get just glanced over, and it's always gun control
yeah,
or violent games lead to violence. Like, it's you can't sit and point to one specific thing. It's a multitude of things that needs to be changed and needs to be taken seriously kind of thing. So
yeah. Um,
that's my 2 cents on it.
and that's a good 2 cents. Like Lucas said, we're not experts. I just think we have a different view than other people would have because of our interests and then also the geographical region we're in. My stance on it is it's not super similar to Lucas's, but I do believe in gun education. It should be a big part. I know that of my friends at work, one had stated when he went to go get his conceal and carry, he said, I didn't feel comfortable with the people in that room that were there to get their conceal and carry of having a gun. And what that is they weren't smart enough, or not, they were not taught, not that they weren't smart, they were not taught the right um the right properties of holding it or reloading or cleaning. They just weren't educated, but they wanted to carry. And that's what makes me nervous as well, as I think I think our concealed carry courses should be a little bit harder to pass, is one of my things. And not because I don't want people to have guns, it's just I want the people that have guns to be educated on what they have. Um, and then another thing that I am a huge supporter of is I think mental health needs to be evaluated a lot, and I think there's a lot of people that that sh- that experience a lot of mental health issues, but they don't actually see it as mental health issues. Like stress can cause a lot of different physical and emotional and different and a mental dips and ebbs and flows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And everybody experiences
Yeah.
stress. Everyone experiences stress from a work day, from like your commute of sitting in traffic. Everybody is stressed, and I think mental health evaluations shouldn't be as taboo. We shouldn't think, "Oh, I'm crazy. I need to have a mental health assessment." I think it should be a part of your normal checkup of, "Hey, this is my stress level. This is the way I've been feeling, and this is how I would really appreciate your help, doctor or counselor or psychiatrist, like any of those professionals." And then
Yeah,
also,
there is a stigma surrounding it that uh, I think is changing, uh, but I don't. It's just a weird stigma for a lot of people that like to go check, like go talk to a therapist or whatever. I don't know.
well, this whole subject of gun violence has stigmas. Of reform has stigmas. Video games have stigmas. Everything has stigmas. But I think as a nation, we're becoming open to a lot more things. That our culture's evolving, and I think these stigmas need to be addressed before we evolve to like our culture changes too much that we can't go back and fix them. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is our culture. It used to be taboo to like be gay, and I'm not putting any hate speech out there. You know, that is your personal preference of what you want to be. But I think we're becoming more open to that, and that's awesome that people can, be open. And then our immigration has come a long way from what it used to be, um, in some good and some bad ways. And I think all these things are changing, and like our gun stuff hasn't. That we need to work. We need things that aren't changing need to change a little bit, and work with the way that our culture is changing. And then another thing is, I work with kids a lot, at church and stuff, and just experiencing those kids like for the 2 or 3 hours that I'm with them. Some of them, are really healthy. They're really happy, and they have a lot of fun with their friends and stuff. And then there's others that you can just tell are not doing well. And me being a 23-year-old male that is with these kids one day out of the week, if I can pick up on that, everybody should be able to pick up on that. Because, a parent who sees that kid every day should be able to say, "Hey, are you doing okay?" And I know as a kid you don't really open up to your parents, but I think as a parent you should try a little bit harder of not trying to get your kids involved in everything, but try to get your kid to be happy. Don't just try to busy them to keep their attention span or to keep them in school or stuff. I think you should actually find something, like actually invest in your kid. And as a culture, that has changed because, like, I know we all had really good parents. I know, like, my parents were awesome, and I know you guys would say the same thing about yours. But today, parents have kind of gone downhill of just like having sports babysit the kid after school because you can't get off work in time to pick up your kid, and stuff like that. And we're pushing.
I mean, I don't know if that's just. I don't know if that's just like now. I feel like that's always been a thing. Is uh
I mean, I think it's always
kind
been a
of
thing, but I don't think it has been as prevalent until like till we got to high school. Cuz I
I
mean,
don't know. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
but then I mean, it that's just what I see. That's just what I see. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that is what I see. And that could be detrimental on a kid because you can pick up, hey, my parents just want me to keep me busy. But also, I mean, there are kids that do have rougher home lives than others, and I think that's where a teacher steps in, or like a counselor, and that's putting a lot of responsibility on teachers. And I know right now in Kentucky, teachers have it rough because their retirements are under a review or their pays under review. Like I know West Virginia, was it West Virginia or Virginia that had like the teachers
West
on
Virginia.
strike? West Virginia, like they closed down schools because teachers were on strike. I do believe teachers should be paid for what they do because they're molding the minds of the future generations, which sounds like a cliche way to put it, but I think they're the first line of defense because they can see these kids and see the ones that are having troubles. Because like the kid in Florida, didn't he have trouble with bullies when he was in school?
Honestly, I didn't really look at it because I just try not to, because I know I'll get upset by reading all this stuff. I keep, I mean, that makes me sound like I don't want to do anything about it, but that paints me in a bad light. But God, I've already
Well, I
dug
mean,
myself a
it's
hole.
not. I think
No.
why you try to avoid it, Chris, is because you know you're not an expert. You're just trying to. You're trying to be the best you can be, and you're trying to. You're afraid to look to other people. I don't think that's going to be bad light. I think it's just you're working on you, and I think that's how we all should be. Is we're all trying to work on us to be better. I think it's when those people give up on working on themselves that's when the violence occurs. My main stance though is like if you like I'm very anti-bully. That's where I think a lot of this stuff occurs is when kids get picked on. It can lead to retaliation of like tenfold. And I know that's not all the shootings causes, but I know that is some of the shootings that we've had caused. And this is a really lame statement, but everybody should love everybody. Dang it. And yes, I did take that from Semi Bro, but I do think it's a great phrase
Yeah. No, it's true.
because I mean we're in a world full of freaking hatred. Let's not try. Let's instead of trying to beat each other, let's try to beat the hatred.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, go for it.
Obviously, obviously I would say that video games do not cause violence. Um, but caveat being that if I was a parent, I would not give games I play to a kid. Probably, I would probably it's obvious, unequivocally under 13. And then once they probably
Yeah.
reach teenagerness, adolescence, I would probably use my judgment as the parent to see if my child was developed enough to. It comes down to that portion of it comes down to parenting.
Yeah, and
If you're
that's
not willing to monitor what your child takes in, that's on
uh,
you. That's not the child's
yeah.
fault.
I
That's
I
on the
was
parent.
raised in a household like that. I didn't have my first M-rated game until I was in seventh or eighth grade, and it was Halo 3, which could probably be, if it was just like a single player game, it'd probably be rated T. uh,
Yeah, it's not that bad.
but yeah, Halo's not bad, and then Call of Duty 4 was the next one, and it it was a war game kind of thing, so it wasn't like it was more, I guess, realistic and violent than Halo, but you're not going around doing anything crazy uh, in COD 4. But and then yeah, I wasn't. It's something that the ESRB is there for a reason, and parents specifically, should follow it. But yeah,
Yeah, don't take your fifth grader to go get the newest copy of Grand Theft Auto.
Man, I
Yeah,
didn't have my
exactly.
first.
Come on.
My first copy of Grand Theft Auto was Grand Theft Auto 5, and I didn't get it until I was 22. That
Me
was the
too.
first. That was the
I have
first one I ever had.
four. I had four, but I snuck it into the house. I saved up my own money and got it, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah.
Because I just
No,
had
I
so much fun
wasn't.
with it. But
Yeah. Uh,
and I knew it wasn't going to
Whenever I
require me,
was
so.
in the house, uh, yeah, I doubt if I went to my mom as a junior or senior in high school, it was like, I'm gonna go get GTA or Grand Theft Auto from what she got it, like being reported in
Yeah.
the news and all that stuff whenever it came out. She probably would have looked at me like I was crazy. But I mean, playing it now, like I understand why, but at the same time, like it's at this point where I'm at right now, it's a video game, and I
Yeah,
think that separation between the two, like video game and real life, I think that's. I know that sounds like an easy separation to make, but uh, I feel like that's one that somebody has to be able to make before they can play certain things. And again,
And even wa-
like I'm
in,
saying it
in
just
movies,
doesn't
too.
make sense to me. Movies too, same way. I
And I would argue
wasn't
movies
allowed
are
to
probably
watch.
worse.
listen, man, I went and watched Red Sparrow and Death Wish last weekend. Great movies, loved them, but they were freaking brutal. Like,
I mean, obviously a movie looks way more realistic than Grand Theft Auto. I mean,
yeah,
Right.
I would not take I probably wouldn't take a 13-year-old to see an R-rated movie. No way. Even if I think they could handle it, I don't. It's just not something I would.
I'm trying to think if what was your all's first R-rated movie?
It was the call
Shawshank
before.
Redemption.
Which that's a classic. That's almost educational.
Yeah, I think I was like 8 the first time I watched Shawshank Redemption.
Jeez, oh Pete,
Was Poltergeist rated R?
had to have been.
I'm sure, yeah, that was before
Had
PG-13
to
was
have
even
been.
a thing.
I mean, if it
I
came out now, it would absolutely be an
I watched
R-rated movie.
that. I watched that in third grade. So how old were we in third grade?
I was 9,
And that
You were
was
9.
so you were 8. I turned 9, so you were
2003.
8.
Yeah, I was 8 because I'm a year behind you, and Lucas. But so I watched that in third grade. So I was 8 year old, and my mom had fallen asleep, and did not know that was on the television. I don't think. Like I think I was just like, I fell asleep on the couch. She fell asleep on the couch, and I woke up and that was on. Freaking scarred me for life, though. I hate scary movies now because of it. I think that's the reason because I couldn't sleep for a week after that. But like, I mean, if parents aren't gonna monitor, and this makes my mom sound like she's an awful mom because she let me watch that, but she was asleep. She didn't know I was watching it. Um, my mom's not a bad mom, but I think that scarred me for life. I cannot watch scary movies because of that. Imagine what some of these movies are doing to kids, like because the parents aren't monitoring what they're watching.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
that
could you imagine watching something like Prisoners at a very young age?
I've not seen
Oh
Prisoners, so
dear
I can't
Lord.
speak to that.
Well, I was talking
No
to
way.
Chris
I mean,
because he knows exactly
that would
what
have
I
scared me
mean.
to
But
death as a child. I mean,
yeah, it's super intense. Like it's crazy, but
I mean,
don't know.
I mean, at 13, or I mean, okay, so I'll just go back to 8. At 9, 10 years old, I still had some of my innocence left. Watching that movie would have removed all of it. I'm not. I mean, like
Yeah.
seriously.
I want to think I had my innocence until I was at least 14, or at most 14. But like I'll get on, and I can't even stand to do game chat on Overwatch or Fortnite because kids have like worse mouths than me, and I used to curse a lot. I've stopped, and like those kids would make like even when I was cursing, that would
I mean, I mean, there's some words I would not have. I would under no circumstances ever touch, no matter how mad I got.
yeah, exactly. And like those kids are throwing around those words that I draw the line at around like they're just saying crap and stuff. And I think like and I know parenting hasn't just recently gone downhill. It's been a whole thing, but I think that's a lot of the problem, you know? Like imagine millennials having
Yeah.
kids. Am I right? Like that's a problem.
I mean, they do.
They do have kids.
I mean, yeah, so like my sister's millennial and she's got a kid and she's doing great. She's a good mom, I think. From what I can tell, I've never parented before, but she seems to be doing a great job. And I could just see, I know there are people her age that have kids that are not doing as good of a job. And they're because like they're millennials. I don't know. We've ruined America, guys. So millennials have ruined it all. Or maybe it was the Generation X ruined it. I don't know.
Uh,
Are our
they did a
parents
bad
baby
job
boomers?
raising us, so we're gonna.
Hmm?
What generation are our parents? Generation X or baby boomers?
I think we're Y. This new one is Z, so they're X, I guess. No, X is like 80s.
Yeah, my mom and
I
dad
think.
graduated high school before the 80s, I think.
Well, I don't.
I think
I'm
I
not
don't know.
100% sure on
I don't
that.
know what
Generations
generation.
are.
That's
They're
weird.
really
Yeah.
loosely. They're really loosely defined, honestly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think a lot of the problem is parenting. I think that's kind of what the common stance we've come upon on the violence and stuff, right?
I think it's part of the problem. I don't necessarily think it is the
The
And I
sole,
never-
yeah,
problem.
it's not the sole thing. Yeah.
I mean, I never threw my hat in on the gun thing. I mean,
oh yeah,
Oh
keep
yeah,
going. You're still going.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
I wasn't like arguing that I hadn't got to and I wanted to. I was just saying like in the continuation, like because you were saying about the parenting. I mean, we were children. We know that you can see as good as parents as you have, you can still sometimes hide stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, like you said, you snuck GTA 4 in the house,
I did.
and you had good parents.
I do.
Yeah. But
I mean,
go
so I
ahead,
think-
keep going with your point. Yeah.
And I'm probably about like Lucas on the gun thing. Maybe a little bit more left leaning on it because at a point, I'm just like, okay, so we have guns. So, like, I want to shoot them. Okay. Some people have a hobby of shooting up heroin. That doesn't make it a good hobby.
I mean, you're
That's
not
a danger.
wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously, I'm fine with like if you have like a pistol or something. I mean, I feel like assault rifles are a little overkill. You can go to a range and shoot, I guess, in like a store, but I don't know why we have them. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna go hunting with an AR-15, are you? I don't know.
There's very few animals you can kill with an AR-15, and most of them are nuisance
Exactly,
animals. Like coyotes
Yeah.
and boar, I
Exactly.
think you can kill with an AR-15.
I was supposed to say I think all of them are nuisance
Yeah.
animals. Is what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you
So-
can't go hunt deer with an AR-15.
Yeah, you just mow down a bunch of Bambis.
Yeah, it's like,
Ooh. Imagine
still-
Bambi, but like the whole flock of deer got Bambi mom by the same outcome as Bambi's mom because of an AR-15.
That movie would have ended up worse
Anyway.
than it did.
What were you
Yeah.
saying,
Anyway,
Chris?
sorry.
I mean, I don't have my like stance fully 100% formed because it changes day to day. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I just like because like I mean in college I was like, no, I mean guns, yeah, guns, we need them, guns. But it's just like the more and more I see, I'm like, come on, it's like. And here's the thing: the CDC is the Congress still doesn't allow the CDC to even study the cause of gun mass shootings. At the very least, they should be allowed to look at. They
Yeah.
study every. I mean, there's no point in them not being allowed to do this.
I didn't realize.
I mean,
they
what
couldn't
harm
do
can
that.
it really do?
I didn't realize that was a thing. I didn't realize
They're
the
not-
CDC couldn't study that.
No, they're not allowed for some weird reason. I don't understand why either. It's just like, and like I was gonna say, I mean like, and I think video games are a cop out by politicians who don't want to actually take a
Address the real
stance on
problems.
guns.
Completely agree with that.
It's a
I
cop
will
out because they don't
say-
want to deal with guns.
I know I was walking out today with Luke, and he mentioned that Florida just had a bill pass.
They
House
raised the
and Senate.
age from 18 to 21, wasn't it?
Yeah, to raise the age from 18 to 21. What do you think about that? Because I had a little bit of a problem with it, but I'll see what you all think about it first.
I mean, if
Raising
I
the
can't
age
rent
to
a car
buy a
until I'm
gun?
25, I don't think it was
Uh,
a gun. It wasn't a specific gun.
No, it's just, yeah, all guns.
All guns? Okay.
Yeah, you have to be 21 to buy all guns. Because currently, you can buy rifles at the age of 18 and then pistols.
Where I hunt, that would have been a real problem for me because I couldn't have bought a new shotgun to go turkey hunting and stuff. But that being said, I know my dad would have went and got one and allowed me to use it.
Right.
I'm not against that. I don't think that's a bad idea because you know what that's doing? That's showing. I think that shows constituents, hey, we don't know what the best idea is, but hey, we're at least trying. You know?
Right.
It's a
I
step
agree
in the
with
right
that.
direction.
They're trying something. Here's my problem with it. And like it's a very small problem that I have with it. I'm more for it, I guess, but I think maybe certain like bolt action rifles, guns that are actually used for hunting,
Yeah.
maybe keep it at 18, or if you want to increase it, maybe to 19 to where they're out of school kind of
Or
thing,
like-
if that's what
or-
you're really
What I
looking
would-
for.
Or maybe try, maybe just truncate it to, not truncate it, but limit it to, okay, you can get it at 18, but you have to take like a handful
Yeah,
of
this-
classes or something.
Well, here's the thing. They have a
Yeah,
thing
I
for
got
that
you.
for your hunting license. It's called an orange card. To get a hunting license, you have to have an orange
I
card.
mean something. I mean like.
No, that's what I'm
additional.
saying. No, I'm what I'm saying is I think a lot of people that are buying guns at the age of 18 might not have their orange card, and I think you should have a orange card hunting license, and you should buy a hunting based gun. Those should be allowed, I think. I think that's
Walmart
kind of what
honestly
Lucas was
shouldn't be
going
a
with.
place
That.
where you can get a gun, but that's just me.
What is it, Chris? What'd you say that again?
I just don't think Walmart's an appropriate place to buy a firearm.
Yeah.
But that's just
Yeah.
me.
I would
mean,
agree with that.
Um,
But yeah, like I mean,
I think you
like-
should have to have a valid orange card and a valid hunting license to buy a gun.
Oh, and
yeah,
probably
or have
should.
some type of
constrict
like,
background
training,
checks, make those
or yeah, make those a little tougher and stuff like that. Maybe like start running a filter on social media and stuff. Just
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
what
I
I
think there
mean.
should be some. Yeah, I think there should be some leeway with that. Like an 18-year-old should not be able to buy any gun they want to, but like
Right.
guns that have a purpose. Like that's what I call, like, I own a gun for every type of hunting I do, and that's all the guns I own. Like, I only need these because I hunt animals with these. Like, I have a 22 rifle, I have two shotguns. And like, people want to bring up home defense as a purpose. Well, I mean, I can defend my home with my Mossberg 500. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's
You
nobody's
don't need
taking
an
a shot.
AR-15 to defend your house. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
If I get a shot of that much
I
lead in you,
mean, you don't
you're
even
done.
have to. You don't even have to hit them with the
Yeah.
Mossberg 500. You could just do the and they're out the door. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I think we have talked our views to where they're hopefully clear. Disclaimer again, we're not experts. I just thought this would be a good topic for us to talk about because I think we have unique views than some other people in different areas of our country. And
yeah,
you know, if you do not agree with us, that is completely fine. You're open, like you're able to have your own opinion. Don't
yeah.
think we're
Let
trying to
us know
sway you in
about it.
any way. Yeah, like, comment if you think we're completely wrong or if you agree with us. Comment, review. We can take it. We're
Yeah,
adult men. We're 23, 24. We can handle it. Yeah, you all are 24. I'm 23. Um, but
yeah. Just
we don't
when
know the
there's
answer, but we're just trying to think of answers. We're just trying to spitball. You know.
a conversation needs to happen about some very controversial things in this country, and I've feeling. I mean, it seems like the voice is getting louder and louder and louder for politicians to actually have it. Uh, but I don't know. We'll see. Something needs to be done. Have no idea what it is, but
It shouldn't be taboo to talk
there
about,
you
though.
go.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
No,
it shouldn't.
absolutely
yeah.
not. No.
And that's why I thought we should do it. I'm gonna do. Let's cut this one. Where we're at.
Okay.
Let's let our audience respond, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. This is a little bit longer episode, and we thank you for sticking with us. Like I said, not experts at all. Don't claim to be. Uh, but would love for you to check us out. All our episodes out on any podcast listening app, iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, all of those. Also, we're on YouTube. We have full video. It'll either be of us, of our not so beautiful faces, or it'll be gameplay of what we played while we talk for our podcast on YouTube. And we also stream those on Twitch. So check us out on. And then we also I live stream on Mondays for the podcast at twitch.tv/curbstomp74. That's KRBST0MP. And then I edit those and put it on YouTube. So check out our YouTube and like I said, email us. Respond to us if you have different views than us. Our email is btstatic.pod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And also, don't forget about the Streamathon on March 24th. That's going to be a huge event from our podcast network, Crossplay Compatible. There will also be a promo for another Crossplay Compatible podcast at the end of our episode, so listen past the outro music. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, yeah. We have t-shirts. They are on sale till March 26th. That is when our fundraiser ends. And then your shirts will arrive to me. If you have you have two options. You can, if you're in London or Lexington, you can just ship your shirt to me for free shipping, and I will get that shirt to you either via Lucas or via myself, or via Chris. And if you do not live in the vicinity of Kentucky, you can ship that shirt directly to you. It'll be a little bit extra, but you can do that. Like I said, they're great quality shirts. They're comfort colors. They're black with our neon blue logo. I think they look pretty good. I designed them myself. Hopefully you like them. But that's just to help us make better content and make more content for you guys. And we'd love to have your support. And You guys can tweet at us too at BT Static. I think that's all of our announcements. Guys, thanks for listening. Catch you guys next week. Hopefully this episode's been better than Static.
If I find my way home,
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, hey, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage because you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode, I take a look at video games based on comic book properties and how well they stick to that source material. So, whether you know the comics and want to actually learn how these games work, or know the games and want to know what the hell is going on, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com, the Brain Trust Bros Network, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.